Good whatever time of day it is to you, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a quick field guide video for series 22 of the Lego minifigures. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are all 12 of them all together, and yes, there is only 12 minifigures again in this series. It seems they've cut down to that number forever for now. So let us begin with this robot looking dude. So what you probably want to feel for here is the big fat helmet, the stick that is his hammer with a pointing end and a dull end here, and probably all the little bits that make up his mini robot here. Next up is this pink alien dude or dudette. What you probably want to feel for is the headpiece with its antennae sticking out here, or maybe the 1x1 stud for the gun, but that could be confused with other things in this series that also use 1x1 studs. It also looks to be like a visor-like thing on his back, connected by this L plate here, which you could also feel for. Next is this Woodland Person, child-like figure. You probably want to feel for this rounded stick, as that's just a stick, or the headpiece, which also looks rather fat, but very round with a knob on the top and a fringe all the way round. You probably could feel for the cardboard box that this neck piece cape thing will probably be in as well. Next up is this ice looking warrior woman. This has a sword, so you could feel for that, but careful because there is 2 minifigures in the series with swords. Your best bet is probably this big oval shield here. Here is the second minifigure with a sword. This one is much more longer and pointed, so it should be fairly obvious which sword it is if you're feeling for swords. You can also do for a round shield rather than the oval one. The hat piece could be risky because it looks very similar to the Woodland Child. You could also try for the dog as well. Next up we have this music man, and with this one you want to go for his instrument, which I think is a lute, with its twisted stroke kinked end here, going for a narrow tube and then a fat main body piece. The hat might also be potential as well with its points around the edge, or maybe even these 1x1 studs, but again, careful not to confuse them. Next we have this horse riding girl and pony, so obviously the pony you could feel for, but could get confused with any of the other animals. The headpiece is probably your best bet with its long hair connected on both sides, and its round top with a weird bit at the top here, but the hair is probably your best bet. Possibly could go for the carrot as well, but not too clear on that one. Next we have this bird watcher woman and this with this toucan. Obviously best bet the toucan itself, the leaves here with its 3 prongs, potentially the bag and binoculars as well. Next up we have this raccoon figure with 3 very fat bits with this bag, the headpiece and the rubbish bin. Probably your best bet is the rubbish bin, which is very round with 2 handles on either side. You could also go for the headpiece as well, but be careful not to get that mixed up with the antennae from the other minifigure, the alien, the pink alien. But these ears are obviously much more thicker than the alien's ears was, and the headpiece goes all the way round rather than it just being a cap like the alien was. Next up is probably going to be the easiest figure to feel for, with this red pepper minifigure, with obviously this big massive red pepper piece, with its fat at the top and going to narrow probably on both sides, this is going to be a very large piece, so it's probably your best bet to feel for. Could go for this 1x1 by whatever it is piece here and a cheese slope, but your best bet is the pepper piece. Second from last is this Paralympian minifigure. Your best bet is feeling for this tricycle pieces here with the 3 wheels. Could get it confused with the shields, but again there's 3 of them, whereas the shields will only be 1 per piece. And this one looks like it has a lot more pieces in the build of the tricycle itself. Could go for the medal, but that's probably not going to be very easy to feel for and could be misidentified as the L plate for the pink alien. The final figure is this ice skater minifigure. Probably best bet is the cup, with its very small but with 2 handles on either side. You definitely can't really mix it up for the rubbish bin because it will be much smaller. Could feel for the ice skates, but again, those are going to be rather small and hard to feel for. Some of the minifigures also have extra accessories as well. Raccoon has a hairpiece, the pepper has a hairpiece, and the ice skater has something there, which looks like a Marvel superheroes display piece, which we all have probably a lot of experience and feeling for with the recent Marvel CMF series. So yes, that concludes this field guide. I hope it was helpful, and I shall see you when I see you. Goodbye.